Shabbat Shalom, Israel. Praise to the Most High, Yahweh, God bless. We're just going to bring a class out today because a lot of people like to come with this all the time. And it's funny to me because you got the Christianites. They always do. You don't have to go through the Old Testament, but boy, when you start beating them up with these scriptures, they want to run. Well, then you shouldn't adore Edomite. Deuteronomy 23:7. This class here is going to be the Edomite, and Deuteronomy 23:7 is not who y'all think it is. And that's going to, we're going to get these things and what they're doing. I got to understand, Esau is a vagabond, a fugitive. So everywhere he go, he hiding himself. He don't want nobody to know who he is. So-called white man do not want nobody to know who he is. It's because, I mean, it's history. That's why he go to everybody's kingdom, tear it down, and name himself after that, and become those people. That's the same way right now. He trying to become us right now. He in the rap game, R&B, whatever we do, that's now he's doing it. Man, they done took the dances from us, and now they making up the dances. Got our kids running around looking like idiots, doing some whatever they do today. But first of all, I want to let's get to strong. We're gonna start off where it's showing things are different. All you gotta do is do a little research on some of these. People just read stuff and don't even research a word. When you don't know something, go look these words up and study these words. But give me that out of the strong. And we got an older version. I'm gonna show y'all something too. We got an older version of the strong. This is the 19th, or what is it, 40 years ago. Strongs. And I got the 21st century strong here too. And we're gonna go through what it say on the phone. And if you write Hebrew, then when you write this down, you'll see, I should have had it written down, but how close these words are together, why it can be mistaken. But go ahead. Read your definition on that strong. And that's coming from H720?
Yeah, it's coming from H
726.
You want me to 726?
Yeah. Because first of all, when you go to Edom, when you look it up on there, Edom is H123. And when you look at this one, H130, meaning the Hebrew 130. So when you look that up, it'll say CH726 for that one in 23 and 7. The rest of them was going to be H130, talking about the regular Edomites, the Edomites of the people of Esau. Go ahead.
726. A clerical error for 130.
Hey, what?
A clerical error for 130.
It's a clerical error for 130. The reason they was making this a clerical error, and I'm going to read this to you because this is off the telephone when you use a strong on the telephone. An Edomite or descendant from or inhabitant of Edom is what Edomite. So the Edomites, just like Israel, like right now, people having our land, they calling them the Jewish people, but they not the Jewish people. But at the time, it was people living in Edom before Edom was named Edom. Edom wasn't even around yet. So that land wasn't even called Edom. But we're going to find out who those people were there before that. And we're going to find out what the brother he's talking about in that 23 and 7. And finish reading that.
It's like a clerical error for 130.
Read that again. I want y'all listen. A clerical error from H130. H130 is the Edomite, the descendants of Esau. And then when you look on here also, it occurs 12 times in the Bible. One time it means Syrian. That one time is right here in Deuteronomy 23 and 7. The rest of them is Esau descendants. That's why when you go to H130, it says H130, and then it tells you to see the other one. And then let's see what this goes. Let's see what it says.
Salaki. Let's start with this is 726 out of the
H726.
H726 out of the Strong Concordance. The word is called Arami, meaning a clerical error for 130. And Edomite is the margin of Syria.
What's that?
The merger, Shalaki, You got semicolon Syria.
Because Syria at this time occupied the area of Edom. Edom wasn't even named earlier before till Esau came when that name became that. Before Esau, we didn't have Edom. So who was that? What was that land called at the time? The Syrians occupied that land. We're gonna see that in the Bible too. And we're gonna see who was there and what the significance of Syria and what's going on. Now I'm gonna give you the 21st update because they got a new revision. Look, and it also says fully revised and corrected by John H. Cullenberger III and James Swanson. They went back in here. And this the older version, this is the newer version. And I'm gonna go to that H726. And it's gonna say various of 130. Edomite of Edom / Syrian. Did everybody get that? I'm gonna go slow so everybody can get it because we just everybody say Syrian. Why is the Syrian here? Back in this time. This time he took out a little bit on this one, trying to hide himself some more. And then, like I said, it's one time in this Bible that says that word Syrian is used as an Edomite. That one time is Deuteronomy 23:7. And we proved that out of the Strong because they even had it back in the day that word was meant in Syrian. So what are everybody using? Let's go to Genesis 22:20. Y'all get the Strong, get an older version too, and get a new version. It's gonna tell you it's a Syrian. Look on your telephones in the Strong. It's telling you it's a Syrian. I mean, it's just easy, simple research. And it ain't even number looking it up. And you find Syrian. But we don't even want to see it or want to believe what's going on that part. We want to just still deal with Stockholm Syndrome and all that other stuff and try to find another way this means something. It's simple. It was a clerical error because people think that, we'll see. Let's go.
The book of Genesis chapter 22, verse 20. And it came to pass after these things that it was told Abraham, saying, behold, Milcah, she hath also borne children unto thy brother Nahor.
Hold on. Until who?
Unto thy brother Nahor.
Until who?
Thy brother Nahor.
Nahor. Unto thy brother Nahor. Nahor is the Syrians. And we're going to find that out. Nahor is the Syrian. That's why it's talking about this Syrian, which is why the Strong keep letting you know that means Syrian. Because, and then when you say, we're going to get 23:7, we're going to read that too, but yeah, go to 23:7, Benaniah. Read that for me. Say where you at.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 7. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite.
Thou shalt not hate an Edomite.
For he is thy brother.
For he is thy brother. See, now immediately everybody see thy brother and they thinking is the brother of Jacob. And that's where they go with. It's the brother of Jacob. But no, there's more brothers in this Bible. Y'all, like I said, just do a little, look it up and it's tell you Syrian. So what Syrian brother was that? Abraham's brother, Nahor. Now go ahead.
Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou was a stranger in his land.
And that's the second part. Thou shalt not hate an Egyptian, because we was a stranger in the land. See, they don't never go to that part though. They stop right there. You know, hey, they just, thou shalt not adore Edomite. And hey, what about the other part? There's a reason, because he said that about the Syrians and about the Edomites. Egyptian. It's a reason. That's why I'm gonna show you why he used them too, why we shouldn't hate them. And we're gonna get to that later on too. We're gonna answer both of them. We're gonna show you both of them on that. Where you at?
21.
Go ahead.
Genesis 22:21. Huz, his firstborn, and Buz, his brother, and Kemuel, the father of Aram, and Chesed, and Hazel, and Fildash, and Jitlat, and Bethel. And Bethel begot Rebekah. These 8 Milcah did bear to Nahor, Abraham's brother.
To Nahor, Abraham's brother. That's just letting you know. This is the brother we talking about. And y'all got to understand this. One significance about the Syrians, because first of all, the 12 tribes began in this area. The 12 tribes began from the Syrians. Nahor, because those daughters of Nahor, the son of Nahor is Laban. Laban was the father of Rachel, Leah, and also the master of the concubines that was given unto Jacob. This is what those two people did, because also where were the 12 tribes and their families came from? The first 12 children. Where did we go? Into Egypt. Was the beginning of what? The 12 tribes. The rest, and our families come from Syrians. Then in Egypt is where we started developing our families during the 70 people that moved to Egypt. The brothers didn't even have wives yet. Remember, they had the land. Remember, they were working for their father, Jacob, at this time. That's why it's calling out those two in the book of Deuteronomy 23:7. That's why it's talking specifically of all the nations, talking about those two. But we know now that means Syrian, not the Edomites. Because we're going to go through a whole lot of Esau and the Edomites and show there's no way he's talking about the Edomites, because he is 100% against them. So he's like, hey, don't hate them. I'm going to hate them, but you can't hate them. That don't make sense. Because he tell us to follow him. So if he telling us to follow him and he's saying, do as I do, do as I say, don't do as I do, then you ain't going to have no trust in your own father if you do that. Your father that, hey, man, don't be smoking no weed. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no good for you. You 9 times out of 10, you're going to grow up and you're going to west around and smoke weed because you're looking at your father do. It was good for him. He looked like he was having fun. So this don't even make sense when people even say these things. It don't make sense at all. Let's go to 24 and 15 and stay in Genesis. We're going to walk straight through. Just wait. Almost in the order of this Bible.
Book of Genesis chapter 24, verse 15. And it came to pass, before he had done speaking, that behold, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulder.
I'm just going to reiterate it again. Nahor, Abraham's brother. All right. And we looked at that one little brother and we just ran with that other brother. But we didn't even consider these other parts of the Bible that still how the mystery goes together. We just heard somebody told us that, but we didn't bother to look up nothing else.
Yeah, because a lot of time when people read the Bible, the thing is, this part can't contradict that part. So a lot of time when people doing classes and they pulling scriptures to try to make these scriptures fit these scriptures, and it contradicts the rest of the Bible, that means, brother, you're giving the wrong sources out and you leading sheep astray. So that way, what I'm basically going into. So when you doing classes or when you bringing out the scriptures to our people, if you pull a scripture right here to explain what you're saying, that scripture can't go against the whole Bible.
It
has to line up
all the way through. It can't change it. Oh, I got a little bit here. It sounds good over here, but it don't fit over here. It's got to fit all the way through.
That's it.
It's got to fit. If you're going to use it, it's got to fit. Everywhere you use it's got to fit. So one thing, Esau being the Edomites like with this, it don't fit all through. The Syrian does, because of the same significance he called out Egyptians. Our nation was born out of these two places, out of the Syrians and out of the Egyptians. That's why out of all 18 nations, he called out them too. because that's where our people had started at. Our nation began out of the Syrians, from the wives of Laban, which is the brother of Nahor, his father, which is the brother of Abraham. That's where we began. The 12 tribes started developing their children and having their children, and all of us grew. The whole week went in with 78 people, came out with a nation out of Egypt. This is why he used those two words, those two people. Don't hate the Syrians. Y'all came out of that. Don't hate the Egyptians. Y'all came from them. Y'all was in their land.
That's right.
Y'all was strangers in their land. And not only did they let you come in, they let y'all come in. And that's why you think the Egyptians put us in slavery. Because what they say when the second king came up, he said, man, they done got more than us. Imagine going into a country with 78 people. It's like right now, we go over, let's say I go over to Europe with 78 people. Then we just sitting there just living. And then the British government look up, and this country used to be white. Man, it's just, there's more Negroes than whites. But see, we was telling them, remember when Jacob told them, he said, Jacob had told them, hey, we'll be your servants at this time. See, but they took advantage of us being servants of them. Because when the second king, he was like, well, sure, we got all in, we just make them slaves. And that's what happened. So, I mean, that's one of the things that happened. But like I said, we can get in a whole lot of that. We can go all through. That's when I looked at it. I was like, it was too much information to show me who these people were. But we're just going to get what we got right here. Go to 25 and 20. Walking right through the Bible.
Genesis chapter 25, verse 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethel, the Syrian.
Yeah, hold on, go ahead.
The daughter of Bethel, the Syrian of Kedarim, the sister of Laban, the Syrian.
So what?
The sister of Laban, the Syrian.
So we know Laban, and we're going to get that, is the son of Nahor, which is a brother of Abraham, which is the Syrian. So that means Nahor was a Syrian. At this time, they all spoke Hebrew. Abraham was chosen as a Hebrew. Nahor was a Hebrew at this time, but he had his own nation with a Syrian. We like Esau and Jacob. They was like that, but they had their own nation. Moabite, Lot was out about that, but they was their own nation, different nation of people. Most High was doing this, separating all this stuff. But I'm just trying to get to the point where this Bible is talking about the same Syrian that when it's telling you that was a clerical error.
Because even in Genesis, we got to understand Genesis means the beginning. So doing Genesis, God was still creating nations.
Exactly. He was separating the nation.
Exactly.
Remember, he was saying he divided the nation. Because at one time we was all coming out of, there was other nations, but we were all still creating other nations. All 18 nations when it was talking about in the garden about the tree of life, all 18 nations went out. There was nations out. Because we know now what they went all out, because we see nations being still developed after that time. So it was nations here, but it was nations still being developed. And now the spirits of nations, now the spirit was on different nations now. Same spirits on the wicked nations, same spirit. They was all, one nation come in, he had a spirit. Another nation come in, they had a spirit. Another nation come in, they had a spirit. Sometimes that's that same regentrification of the same spirit. Like we do about regentrify.
Yeah, just like even going into the, I'll bring it out. In Genesis, he separated the, matter of fact, Deuteronomy 32 and 8, right? Because the thing is, after when he was separating nations, he made as he was separating the nation, he made his own portion too. Like, this is mine, but I'm gonna divide all the rest of the people. But these people right here, these are my people. Read that out.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance.
When the Most High did what?
When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance.
Because the Most High divided every nation their own inheritance. This is your land. This is what I'm giving you. for your landmass. I'm gonna give you this right here for your landmass. I'm gonna give you this. We don't know.
When he separated the sons of Adam.
Then he separated the sons of Adam. Now we know all people what come from what? Adam. Read on.
He set the bounds of the people according to the number of children of Israel.
Now he set the bounds to the people for the number of, well, he set the bounds to the people according to the number of the children of Israel. Read on.
For the Lord's portion is his people.
Now the Lord's portion is his own people, which is who? Read on.
Jacob.
Which is Jacob. Now everything that comes out of Jacob lineage, this is what I'm gonna separate the bounds from. Okay, this is Israel, and I'm gonna give, this is Israel land. Reuben, Simeon, all these land masses, I'm gonna put all these together. Okay, this is the Moabites right here. This is the Edomites land right here. This is the Ammonite land. He divided everybody's land, because guess what? The man, us as being men, we don't divide our land. The Lord tell us what we should, what our land should be. Like I said, Esau came in, mixed themselves in that thing. But guess what? When he divided the land, he divided the land amongst how he said it's supposed to be divided.
And our land grew at times.
Indeed.
From wars and then taking in the spoil. Like if you go back, you see King David. When Saul was ruling, he had a smaller kingdom. Then David went in, and it was got bigger. Solomon went in, got even bigger. At different times, if you look at Israel, Israel was always changing its size and everything because of the fact of the matter. Now we had divided land, but it was all according to us.
That's it.
If we grew, guess
That's
what? Somebody else in this world got to lose some land.
That's right.
Because everything is about the children of Israel to the Most High. So if Judah go out and Judah and them have 100,000 more babies last year, guess what? Somebody else got to go lose some land this year. It won't be our nations, but somebody out here got to go lose some land. Because everything is done off of us and our population.
That's the whole point I was trying to make.
That's what they're saying on that.
That's the whole point.
No matter what, it's going to be what, hey, Edom, y'all going to have to move around. Why is that? Because
we need to.
They was over there having babies all last year. They had a good winter. They had somebody, I guess Barry White was born, you know what I'm saying? And singing a good song or whatever.
That's right.
But however, you got to move.
That's right.
You're going to lose some of this land. Get on the other side of the river, Edom, because they taking it. They need this.
That's right. And just like the scripture is going to, just like everything, like Oxen, is based off of us. So if he gave us a portion, and when the Lord said, hey, well, I need y'all to go conquer that land, you think we was going to conquer that land, just leave it like that? Or we was going to take that land over and get everything up out of that thing?
Only time we don't take it is when the Most High say, leave everything. I just want you to go in and kill everything, and I don't burn everything, get out of there. If he told us that, that's what we did. Other than that, everything it was a spoil for us. That same thing would happen. We was supposed to have Edom.
That's right.
If it wasn't for Saul.
Matter of fact, we're gonna get that land mass too. Give me Genesis chapter 15, verse 18. Because the Most High had already outlined our portion of the land, like Akim is bringing down. All the way from Egypt, all the way over to the, that's all our land. All that Fertile Crescent, what they call today, all that is our land.
And then at times I said we was gaining land, we was also losing land also.
Yeah.
The Most High was punishing us when we wasn't doing right. Yeah, okay, since you're gonna do that, you're gonna lose some of it. And other nations was coming in, taking our land. And the Most High wasn't with us when we went to battle. Because if we was doing good, guess what? Anytime we went to battle, we go out there with 3 people against 4,000 and we gonna win. That's just as plain as that. The Most High gonna fight the war. Go ahead, read that off.
The book of Genesis chapter 15, verse 18. In the same day, the Lord made a covenant with Abraham.
And so Abraham got the covenant. Read on up.
Saying, unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt.
From the river of Egypt, that is the Nile River. Read on up.
Unto the great river, the river Euphrates.
Unto the great river Euphrates. All that land that encompasses in between that is our land.
And the Euphrates River is all the way on the east side. You got the Nile is over all the way on the west side, and the Euphrates River is almost on the east side of what they so-called the Middle East over there. Because when you come out the Euphrates, you down in Persian Gulf. That's where it drains into.
Matter of fact, we're gonna get another one too. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 11 and verse 24, saying the same thing, but the Most High was getting a little more detail. When you get there, you can read it off.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 11 verse 24. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours.
Shall be what?
Shall be yours.
Shall be what?
Shall be yours.
Read on now.
From the wilderness and Lebanon.
From the wilderness and Lebanon. Read on now.
From the river Euphrates, even unto the uttermost sea shall your coast be.
Even unto the uttermost seas shall your coast, shall your land be. So all that encompasses that. We already know that the whole world is all anyway. Yeah. But the Most High gave us the best portion out of all the whole world.
That's right. So that's it goes back into that thing. So when he divided out to the land of all the nations, when he wants us to come get some of that. Oh, this ours. We got to have it, man.
If we outgrew everybody, they'll put the 17 other nations on one island, man. Look, we gonna use all this, and they can't say nothing about it because the Most High gave us the world, really. And he's gonna give us back the world. And ain't no nation they'll be happy to be. Well, y'all go ahead and go back home. Just make sure y'all be here by 5:30. Get out in that field by that time. Then work. But we'll let them have their place to live, because a lot of times we don't want to live by them anyway. We're just gonna keep them in line, making sure y'all gonna do these laws while you hear them. Just like we gonna do these laws while we here too, while we got our land. Otherwise, the Most High take it away from us. He ain't gonna give it to no other nation. He gonna, the tribe of Issachar gonna take some more.
We got to also remember, like you said, that scripture right there is real heavy, that Deuteronomy 32, because the Most High divided the nations, but he gave us the best portions and gave everybody else the leftovers. Yeah. That's first and foremost. Go ahead, all right.
We can go back to, what you read? You read 25?
Yeah, Genesis 25 and 20.
Okay, go to 27 and 42.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 42. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doeth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee, proposing to kill thee.
Go ahead, 43.
Now, therefore, my son, obey my voice and arise. Flee thou to Laban, my brother, Laban, my brother to Haran.
And that she's once again, it's talking about Esau. Esau ain't never did want us to do nothing good. Even when we got back together, when they met each other, they also had a burnout again with his other sons running around raping people. Dinah, they only sister. So they got to burn out. They separate again. Esau ain't never did anything good to us, for us, or nothing.
Broke every covenant.
Been ready to kill us since day one. Chased us out. Imagine your brother chasing you away from your mother and your father since the beginning. So, and then people are like, we can't hate them. Show me when they did anything. The Most High called him my enemy. He named them everything in the book. He threw the kitchen sink at them. And then we ain't supposed to hate them. Who say that? Do you read this Bible? Now they run right back to that. You're not 20%. No, not. Well, you was talking about the Old Testament wasn't no good at first. Now all of a sudden, 23:7 is that should uphold. The commandments don't stand. But Deuteronomy 23:7, that stands. Y'all should stand up to that. Don't hate no white folks. That's what they're saying. That's all it's about. Because if that's the case, why don't they ever say nothing about the second part of that?
They never do.
Why don't they say, see, we shouldn't even be hating those Egyptians? Now they could have used that when this what's this, Nipsey Hussle died. And everybody was all on Facebook, this and that and that and that and this. They could have used that right there on that. Yeah, well, we can't hate no Egyptian anyway. No, nobody told you we hate them. We just said quit praising this dude. That's what a lot of people were saying on those things. But They never want to, they don't never, but if I said somebody in the white man, no, they'd have went right to 23 and 7. But I could talk bad about the Egyptian all day. They don't even go, they ain't gonna pull that, but what they gonna do? Well, initially was just, here's an Israelite then. They just make him an Israelite.
And you know what, that's crazy, like you bringing it out, man. They say, every time you say something about Esau, they tell you, they run to that verse all the time. But when you say something about them Africans, get what they never say.
Never bring it
about
up.
that verse, man. And that's in there, right there.
So that's why I know that's all their mindset is about, is so-called trying to say the so-called white man, like the class he did, Stockholm Syndrome. Sometimes they don't even know that they eat like that. They don't know because they got a friend at work that they like, they eat lunch. I work, y'all act like we don't work either. We go to work with the so-called white man too. I get along with him all day long. But I know in the background, I know what he's about. He's just getting along because he at work too. He don't want to get fired. He got a family to feed too. So he'll be all in my face acting nice. The nicer they are, the more I know they hate me. That's one thing I learned about him. And then if you really want to get, if I really want to push that button, I can bring it out. They'll be just like that one thing, nigger, 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 nigger. I can bring it out. Just like they can bring the nigga out at me by pushing my buttons and I be ready to knock them across their head, I can promise you, they can bring it out. You hit the right buttons on them and you're a whole lot of sin. Or you'll be like, ooh, God dang. Didn't think you thought about me like that. But they do. The Bible say they do. Trust God, not man. But where we at? Finish that in 43.
43. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice and arise, flee thou to Laban, my brother, to Haran.
To Haran, okay. See, he was told to flee and go to Laban, his brother. Let me turn this thing off. I could have sworn I turned it down. That's where I do got it down. All right. He was going to Laban, his brother. See, and now, even now he did this. See, y'all don't understand. There was problems going on with Laban. Everybody know the story. We're gonna go through a little of it. But there was some things that was clearing up. That's why on there when he read, do not hate a Syrian. I'm gonna start. That's why I'm gonna replace him because I know what it means. Do not hate a Syrian. Why? And you'll see the things that were going on at this time. If anybody don't, we'll go through some of that story anyway. Go to Judah. Let me get one out of our Apocrypha too. Just to let you know, it's a second witness on this. Judah chapter 8, verse 26.
You go to Judah chapter 8, verse 26. Remember what things he did to Abraham and how he tried Isaac and what happened to Jacob in Mesopotamia of Syria when he kept the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother.
His mother's brother. That I just getting another witness. We're talking about this brother, this same brother. And then even Laban, he called us, even though it was Laban calls Jacob his brother. But let's go back to Genesis and go to 28 and 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 28, verse 1. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan.
No, don't take one of these guys doing. Don't take one of these guys doing Egyptian. Which is funny, huh? Because that's Canaanites right there. That he's talking about, don't hate the Egyptians. But don't take no daughter. No, sirree. Don't do that. Go ahead.
Verse 2, arise, go to Padanaram, to the house of Bethel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. Okay, now we right back to it. Man, this is all through this Bible, man. But the only thing is, we saw that one first brother. Because it's dealing with that brother too. It's a lot of stuff dealing with that brother. But this 23 and 7 is dealing with this brother. Nahor, brother of Abraham.
which had Laban, the Syrian. They are Syrians. They was occupying that land. That's why when you get the definition right there, it says, or inhabitants of Edom. The Syrians that inhabited Edom at this time. That's why they had a clerical error.
But even with that, like Ark is touching on, like I said, guess what? The Most High cover all tracks. Because just in case brothers want to say that we add to the scriptures, guess what? It's precepts for that too.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go to those precepts too and let you know that the Most High covered all those tracks, man. So it won't have that thought in your head, man. Because like we say, we got to understand that brotherly covenant wasn't for forever. Most High knew that Esau was going to break that covenant anyway. So guess what? He had the precepts to back that up too, man. We're going to go to it. Go ahead, Ark.
Okay. And let's go to, you finished that?
Yes, too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 3. And God Almighty bless thee and make thee fruitful and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people.
Say a multitude of people. That's where our multitude began. Started coming out. Bam, right here. We starting now. Became a multitude. That's why it's talking about those two nations, Syria and Egypt. We'll get to that too. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And give thee the blessings of Abraham to thee and to thy seed with thee, that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger.
What? Say that again.
And give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee and to thy seed with thee, that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger.
That's when we was already talking about how all that land was ours, even though we're a stranger in the land to these people. He told Abraham, oh, just look over there. How far can you see? A whole long way. He looking on the top of the mountain. Oh, look behind you. Look to this side. Look to this side. You sit on top of a mountain and look around. You're going to see a long way. Yeah, all that's yours. I know you're stranger in this, but all that's going to be yours. Was it all his at this time? Nope. How did he get it? With the 12 sons of Jacob. All this play the same. That's the same thing, man, through this Bible. That's one gigantic story. You just got to learn how to put it together. That's why it says mystery. Because if it had came out with it just blam, you would never have seen this Bible. No, you did this would have never, you wouldn't even know this existed. Because they would have burnt all this stuff. They couldn't have just, they could have burnt this stuff a long time ago. Most High knew what he's doing. He got a story, but they don't even, they just stories to other people. But to an awakened Israelite, somebody who following God's law, statutes, and commandments, it's a whole different mystery that's put together. They don't know the mysteries. They can read the book, but they'll never figure out the mysteries unless we tell them. That's why he tell us to prophesy to them. And we telling them street secrets in the Bible when we on the streets, and they don't want to believe them. Then we'll go ahead and show them how the secrets work in the Bible. They still don't want to believe them because they're adversary of God. They ain't trying to believe nothing he say anyway. And it ain't gonna matter. Go ahead. Now use it, go to 4. You finish that 4.
Yeah, that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which God gave unto Abraham. And Isaac sent away Jacob, and he went to Padan.
No, that's all I need on that. That's all I need. Go to 29 and 10.
Genesis chapter 29, verse 10. And it came to pass when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother.
He was what?
And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother, and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father.
She was what? Did y'all hear that? That's the brother he talking about. Go ahead.
And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him. And I kissed him and brought him to his house.
And kissed him. You said, and I kissed him.
And kissed him, and Salah, and kissed him, and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said unto him, surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month.
He said, verse 14, he said, surely thou art my bone and my flesh. That's not a stranger. That's saying you my flesh and blood.
Yes.
That's basically what you're saying. You are my flesh and blood.
My brother. Go ahead.
Verse 15. And Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore...
Hold on. Laban said unto Jacob what?
And Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother.
Okay, let's read that again.
And Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother.
Laban called Jacob his brother. That's the other brother. What we talking about? Before we even talking about the one that's what the clerical error. We're gonna go keep going. It's gonna prove itself all the way through here, man. Go ahead.
And Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel.
Yeah, that's the what? Yeah, no, go ahead. 16.
Yeah,
that's all I needed on that.
okay.
But here it is. You got Jacob now. All of a sudden now in the Syrian land, because that's where he went to. The beginning of the 12 tribes. This is the beginning of the 12 tribes. We ain't even got the sons here yet. So this is where we was at, Syrian. That's why it's talking about one, it gives you those 2 nations. Thou should not abhor a Syrian, and thou should not abhor an Egyptian. Because out of that, first of all, we began in Syria, then we grew when we went into Egypt. And we had a whole nation by the time we went into slavery in Egypt. It was a nation of people under the 12 sons. Y'all got some?
Go ahead.
And where you at?
I just finished 16, so it's all right.
That's all I need. Then jump to 25. I'm just going through. It's going all the way straight through the Bible. So y'all know we're going down the line.
Genesis 29 and 25. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said unto Laban, what is this thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me?
See, and this is Laban got mad because when he was leaving, Rachel, that little sneaky self, went in there and took her daddy pictures and stuff that she wasn't supposed to take. And she done hid it. Jacob don't know this. I didn't want to read all that, the whole story. I'm just giving y'all a breakdown of it. She had took some things. And then we also had when the sheep that he was like, you can take all the cattle with the spots on there. And they were like looking at him. Yeah, he ain't got much. And then the Most High changed the spots on the sheep. And almost had the flock. Remember what's his name? Laban tried to cheat him.
Yeah.
Now this is his brother, but his brother's still trying to get off on him. Just like we be doing right now today. We got brother, we be close. You be like, I'm trying to get off on me. Why? Why? Because they do. He got 9 brothers. All of them don't just love each other like that, man. Or they ain't just bad about it. They bad about it. Yeah, we go fight. But I might steal something from you, though. That's brothers. Brothers ain't all. I got brothers, man. We didn't just get along like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Everything got to be, Sometimes you be under, I hate you. It's your brother. But how many times have you said that? And especially you got a sister, she always hate the brother.
I can't stand it.
I was just finna say it, but that's their favorite word, man.
I can't stand
it. And that's what we do that. But like I said, here he is, like he tried to get over. Tried to get over on him with the daughters. But see, that was the Most High's doing because I got 12 tribes I need to bring up out of there anyway. So he gave him Leah. Well, he asked for Rachel, got Leah. Then worked with some more, and you get the other one. And then from those, you got the handmaids or the hand service that was given to him. But like I said, it was a problems going on from the Syrian and Jacob at this time. Not just, so everybody want to look at the problem about Esau and Jacob, but nah, there's a problem with the Syrian, and this is where the 12 tribes are coming from. We ain't never come out and did nothing with Esau that helped, that benefit. What have we done? Look, send anybody put through the Bible, what do we do with Esau that benefited us?
But then it always goes back to the prophecy. We got to keep the Bible in this cultural context. The prophecy gave way back in Genesis 20, thou shalt be separated from thy bowels.
From thy bowels, separated.
Two different manner of people. So one people, we will act like this way and we won't be together at all. We won't agree at all on nothing from anything as a nation of people. Now, a lot of times people mistake it for one or two people. No, we talk about nation versus nation, not one or two people, man. Y'all got to stop that, man.
Because you know you're gonna have Muslims they gonna buy into the covenant of they gonna accept whatever the Esau got going on. But the majority of them, they got a little money, and the majority of the Jacob don't got nothing. But so he's not, like he's saying, he's talking about the nation, not a few people. We only supposed to be what, 13% of the United States, and
we've been 13% since we've been here.
Yeah, and they talking about 1% of the world is 1% of the wealth is owned by the world. Well, think about what percentage of wealth is in. Because we look at a few basketball players or football players. Think about it. You rarely even see them. You got to go buy a ticket to go see that one. You got to go spend some money to go see. So if there's 1% that in Israel, it's like 0.3% of the people that got it.
And you just like Oxy bring it out. You understand? Yeah, you got a few that has money, but check it out. Here in Dallas, you got basketball, NBA basketball. You got hockey. You got baseball, NFL. And you don't hardly see those people.
And now we talking about billionaires who really got money. Man, we talking about 0.00001. You got to go find Oprah, and she sold out. You got to go find what's the dude that used to own Viacom? Him and his wife owned Radio One. And he sold all this stuff. He sold BET to the white man. When we could do our own thing, he sold that. Now we got Radio One. And they following along all the other white man stations and playing all the garbage that get all the terrible garbage. Because they got to keep up with the so-called white man's radio.
And they also got to keep us in sync.
Exactly.
That's what evil communication does, man. We listen to that garbage rap music, man. That's what they want, man. That's by design that they took that over, man. They keep pushing this stuff. Effeminate rappers out here singing, putting that effeminate spirit on the young children and stuff. So, all that's by design, man.
And like all that, NWA was made. We thought that was just the greatest, boy. Nuh-uh. That was a lie. That was a Jewish man that Eazy-E was following behind. I need you to bring that out. So y'all Negroes can go killing each other.
Yeah. You think about the biggest rapper on the earth right now, it's Drake, ain't it? Yeah. He probably about one. If he ain't the biggest, he probably about the one biggest. He's probably one of them. Just like he said in his song he had, what did he say? He said, Jesus Christ. He said he choosing checks over stripes. He said, I lost my respect and you not a threat. He said, when I shoot my shot, you be with it like I'm shit. So he telling people that, look, I lost my respect for Christ. Yeah, I'm choosing, he said, I'm choosing checks over stripes. And I was listening to it. Go ahead.
This moment is a white Jewish.
Yeah, in this moment it's a Jewish lady. So guess what? Like I say, that music, like I say, when you listen to it, it's so subliminal. They say it right into it. Guess what? Our people and all our people sing it. Just what Lil Uzi first said. Look, y'all know my song, y'all sung it. So if I'm going to hear, all y'all going to hear. But guess what people say? Okay.
That's like it was a setup with Ice-T with those song colors. Everybody started killing each other after that.
Yeah.
And then the movie, New Jack City.
Yeah.
And everybody wanted to be Nino. And they was just sitting up there they was just like, okay, got these brand new jails. Let's load them up. And they played that movie, and guess what? They was loading them jail cells up after that movie because it was a trap. And like you said, they use their media. But let's get back up. Let's go to verse chapter 30, verse 25.
The book of Genesis chapter 30, verse 25. And it came to pass, when Rachel had born Joseph, that Jacob said unto Laban, send me away, that I may go into mine own place and to my country.
Read that again. Start over.
Genesis chapter 30, verse 25. And it came to pass, when Rachel had born Joseph, that Jacob said unto Laban, send me away, that I may go into mine own place and to my country.
See, now think about it now. This is a lot of people was born where? Syria. In Syria. Then they left. They done had babies. Rachel, remember, she couldn't even bear children at the time. So she only had two, Joseph and Benjamin. So our whole nation was beginning right here in Syria. And the inhabitants of where? Edom. It's all play the same, man. I can go get the maps for you too and show you all this. You gotta go back and look at the history at the time. Just like when the Moabites at the time, we went about the Moabs, when we realized we occupied Moab at one time, when it's talking about Ruth. So we was like, Ruth is such and such. No, I said, ain't no way in the world. This whole Bible gonna go into got all 80 books. They all Israelites except for one. Nah. Then when you go read the book, you realize what was it saying in there? It was hitting on thy kin, thy next of kin, thy kin, thy kinsman through the whole book. And we're like, dang, hold on. But like I said, everybody read that little beginning, see him about it. But then nobody even really studied the rest of it. Man. Like I said, man, just take your time sometime. And if you don't know, ask a question. Somebody that do know. And even if they give you an answer, go and do some more research and see what you come up with. Don't fight lines of you like, okay, I got it now. But go ahead. Where we at? 30 and 26. Go ahead.
Give me my wives and my children, for whom I have served thee, and let me go, for thou knowest my service, which I have done thee. And Laban said unto him, I pray thee, if I have found favor in thine eye, tarry. For I have learned by experience that the Lord hath blessed me for thy sake.
See, he said tarry. That means to delay. Stay here. Wait a minute. Go ahead. For I have found and learned by experience that the Lord had blessed me for thy sake. See, Laban even know the only reason I'm getting all this stuff because of you. I'm only blessed because you came. That's the only reason. Laban know this. And he realized, man, you like, shoot, man, hold on. Understand a little bit. So even in that little thing, he know he loved Rachel. See, Laban sneaky. He like, shoot, he loved the crap out of Rachel. Then when I give him his other daughter, I give him the wrong daughter, he'd give me 7 more years to get this daughter back. And he did that. He did that. He was loyal to it, man. He did that. And he chose to love his daughters. He made it come, man, I'm going to love your daughters. Even the one you snuck in on. Even the one you snuck in on. Go ahead.
Verse 28.
No, I don't even need 28. Go to 31 now. Start at 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 31, verse 1.
And I like how I was going down this timeline, so you can't get mistaken. The whole, when you reading the Bible, it's got to line up with everything. He's putting it. He's showing the timeline on how it went and why is it saying Edom, which we're talking about Syria? Why is it saying Syria and why is it saying Egypt?
And we're gonna go to that because we're gonna do Egypt in a little bit too. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 31, verse 1. And he heard the words of Laban's son, saying, Jacob had taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father's he had gotten all this glory. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not toward him as before. And the Lord said unto Jacob, return unto thy land of thy fathers, and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock.
Go ahead.
And he said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not toward me as before.
Now, he ain't just as happy like he used to be, but he don't look happy no more. He look like he's mad now. Go ahead.
But the God of my father hath been with me, and ye know that with all my power I have served your father.
I did everything I could for your father, man. Go ahead.
And your father had deceived me and changed my wages 10 times.
He was changing the wages, taking money from him, changing the cattle, didn't want him to get his full inheritance. And what's so bad about his father was the one that see, it was a dowry came with a lot of things back then, and we don't even do those things no more. But that's why it was even families giving and taking. You was money, dowries gone, and it was an inheritance that was going to his daughters. That if he married him, he done gave 2 of them to him. So then Laban like, that's a lot of my stuff gonna be gone. Even Rachel and them was saying, well, sure, our daddy needs to give us our inheritance then. And they was like, because you gotta understand, when they married Jacob, they was with their husband now. You know, I'm separated, my dad and my daddy, but this is my husband. We need our stuff, daddy. And that's what they did. They was in inheritance. So they was having, Laban was looking like, damn, that's a lot. He realized that's a lot of my stuff. But think about it. All his blessings came from, and the reason why he was blessed like that was because of Jacob. Because better yet, go back to 30 and 30. Go back just a little bit to 30 and 30.
Genesis chapter 30, verse 30. For it was little which thou hast before I came, and it is now increased unto a multitude. And the Lord has blessed thee since my coming. And now when shall I provide for my own house also?
Then that's when he's saying, man, you ain't had nothing. You had a little bit when I came. And you got a multitude of stuff. The Lord bless you because I was here. You know what I'm saying? Laban knew it. Jacob knew it. All of them know this. And now he being stingy when it comes time, man. He wants to send his daughter. How was Jacob even going to provide for his daughters?
That's right.
If you ain't giving the inheritance, I gotta provide. I got 2 of your daughters. And the multiple sons coming out of them because they gave me the hand service too. So how I'm gonna provide for them and you ain't gonna give me my full inheritance? It's a problem what's going on there. That's why the Most High is like, hey, hold on, don't hate you, bro. Don't hate them. But at the same time, Laban made up. Esau ain't made up. Still ain't made up to this day. That's how I know that ain't talking about Esau over there. But go ahead. We'll go back over it.
Genesis chapter 31, verse 6. And ye know that with all my power I served your father, and your father had deceived me and changed my wages 10 times. But God suffered him not to hurt me.
It suffered him not to what?
But God suffered him not to hurt me.
But man, I know one person that do hurt us.
Esau.
Esau do everything he can. It's just killing us right now. As we speak right now, he doing it. Go ahead.
Verse 8. If he said thus, the speckle shall be thy wages, then all the cattle bear speckle. And if he said thus, the ring tract shall be thy hire, then bear all the cattle ring tract. Thus God hath taken away the cattle of your father and given them to me.
That's what he was talking about when he tried to trick him with the thing. Yeah, all the speckles with the spots on them, you get those. Most High changed that overnight. Yeah. All them cattle has. So he looking like, wait a minute. Whoa. Didn't I tell y'all to go take them away and put them over here? Paint the spots off, man. Put them over there. He even want the little bit he was supposed to give him. And Most High changed them all. So I take the whole cattle over there. He wake up. looking at ready to kill his own servant. Man, I thought I told y'all to go get their paint spots on them and make them out of. And it didn't even work. All of them come up now, all of them take.
You know what? That's kind of, I'm gonna tell y'all a story, man. That's kind of how the Lord did me. I had got a little bit of patch of gray in my beard. I tried to dye it. When I came back, man, probably wasn't even 2 weeks later. Almost everything about it was gray, man. Trying to dye my beard, man. And guess what, man? Ever since then, he just been flourishing gray. I mean, white. He's just been flourishing more white hair. Just I dyed that, tried to dye the little gray that was in there. The Lord said, okay, I got something for you. I'm gonna turn all over gray.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 9. Thus God had taken away the cattle of your father and given them to me. And it came to pass at the time that the cattle conceived that I lifted up mine eyes and saw in a dream. And behold, the rams which leaped upon the cattle were ring-strapped, speckled, and gristled. And the angel of God spake unto me in a dream, saying, Jacob. And I said, Here I am. And he said, Lift up now thine eyes and see. All the rams which leap upon the cattle are ring-strapped, speckled, and gristled. For I have seen all that Laban doeth unto thee.
So he was like, most I seen all that. He ain't stolen man money, tricked him over here with that. And no, Laban was just getting over it. He was like Laban was delaying him from doing anything, man. That's like sometimes our parents be trying to hold us back because they still trying to live their dream sometimes. And they still trying to live it out of you. You have me, you provide for me, then you let me on my way. That's why I would tell him, when I was married, I would always say, and a lot of times we be wanting to kick our kids out of 18. No, I'm trying to provide. So when I need a place for my grandkids, my family name to carry on. So I'm going to take care of my child. Now, I don't give a damn. I don't want my kids running that. I'm going to go grab my own apartment because they ain't going to go do nothing but get in no another scene. I'm going to keep this son gun here till you get you a wife. And then we going to check your wife out. Or if I got a daughter, I'm going to keep you here until you get a husband. He got to come to me, goddamn. We going to check him out for a while. That's how we need to be doing it. And just instead of giving them kids over, hey, you 18, I got to go back to the club. I got to go do my groove on and y'all in my way. I got Negroes I got to come over here. Or I got the hoes that I got to bring over here. And you want to kick your kid out? No. That's our problem. When we leave our kids, we need to leave them with something and growing them up. Hey, hold on. No, wait a minute. I know people be mad. Well, he's 30 years old, still live with that. Okay, nigga ain't got a wife yet. He said what he said about clinging to your wife. Give me that. Hey, the Bible tells you that. And we be wanting to get out and he get on his own. I want to get, man, why I let you go out there and mess up your whole life because you want to, I want to do it for myself. No, I know how young cats are. I know how I was. So I got to college, but my daddy was strict. But then when I went to college, my daddy couldn't be there. I went all the way to Illinois. So I got up there and I became boy. I was always watched on the streets in the hood here. My daddy was boom, boom, boom. He's lying to come there and come. But up in Peoria, I ain't gonna see him. All my homeboys sold dope. A lot of time, I try to sneak to sell dope, but I gotta watch my daddy was worse than the police officer. But when I got to college now, he ain't here. So I'm just doing my thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm gone. I almost going to prison. I almost got 27 years, all this type of stuff. Because I should have still been right there with my father to read that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2 and verse 23. I'm going to get 23 so you can break that one down too. And Adam said, this is now the bones of my bones.
This the bones of my bones. This go ahead.
So like, this is bones of my bones and flesh of my flesh. And she shall be called woman because she was taken out of man.
She was taken out of man. The woman was made for this man. Go ahead.
Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother and shall cleave unto his wife.
Now, that's when he leave his father and his mother. I didn't make it up. Mosai said that. But see, we done got in this world in Esau. And what's so bad about it? We done got into Esau's kingdom and all of a sudden, the 25-year-olds still living with their mama. We laugh at it. No, man, you can't use all this old bullcrap. We laugh at it. It's a joke now. But what's so funny, when you go into Esau's kingdom, go in the basement. It's a 35-year-old man still living down there until he get a wife. But see, they don't even talk about that, but that's what they doing.
They do it.
They're getting married, and guess what? They mother and father set them up. Here's your little, I saved the nest egg. Here, bam. That's why we can't develop no families no more. They done tricked us in how to raise a family. They done tricked us in how to be a family. And then they on the cool doing it like the Bible says, because they know, hold on, man. See, we just make them think that we just doing this and that. But on the back door, behind the closed door.
Because the reason why they doing it, because they know that this way that the Lord set up, it was prosperous for them to do it that way.
Exactly.
But we don't do it that way because guess what? They set us up that, okay, if they do it this way, they ain't gonna be prosperous. But we do it that way, it's gonna be prosperous because the Lord said do it, so we can't go against his word. So if we do it that way, I know it's gonna be prosperous. So guess what they doing? Just like you said, in their basements, they have 35, 40-year-old, 50-year-old, they still living down there with their mothers and fathers until they get their wives, man.
And then they got bigger houses, so you know, Jonathan can live all the way on the other side. He can live on the east side of the house.
And
you know what I'm saying? And we know we got these little 2-3 bedroom, in our room. You know, you do like this and be in every room. You know what I'm saying? But we just can't stand it here. You know, oh no, I gotta go.
You see,
and we do that. That's we look at it. We can't even do like the Issachars do. Get in one house. You know, somebody done got killed to do this.
And that's why I said and I want to touch on it too, because that's how a lot of our people is. Like our children, they get older, they be 21, 22. Oh, you can't tell me nothing. Then you want to live with me, but I can't tell you nothing. Now that's a problem too, because we got to get that established. Because a lot of times, guess what? A lot of times when people, man, if they sons like the Edomites and stuff like that, Mother Nature, they sons be on them drugs and all that, they try to help them out. But if they can't deal with them, they still, hey man, you going on over there, you gotta go and leave too, because guess what? They can't deal with it. You got to still, if you're up under my house, you still got to abide by these rules, man. You can't, I don't care how old you are. If you living in my house, you got to abide by these rules and you got to live by them, man. If you ain't, you're gonna have to go, man.
And there's no problem. I mean, you're not gonna be a soft guy for doing this. You're gonna be a righteous man for doing it. You know, if you still abandon your parents at 26 or 27 or 30 years old or whatever, I mean, that's obedience. You're a humble man. That's a righteous man. Because that's why he said, hey, honor your mother and your father. He's telling us to do those things. But we done took it all backwards. We done just did. That's all it is right now. We know we done did things backwards. Israel, let's start correcting the things in the way we should be doing and go the way the Most High told us to go. And that's one of these things that we getting at on this.
Let me finish that out right quick.
Okay,
he said, therefore should a man leave his father and mother and cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh.
Now they gone, man. There you go. Y'all going on now.
Yeah.
Y'all going on now. If y'all need anything, give us a holler. I'll help you out. That's what I was telling my son. My son had he ain't talking about man, come move with me. We might not be getting along all the time, but I know what the scripture say. I don't give a damn. And that son got eat me out of house and home, boy. He just be eating because he bored. I'm buying groceries. I ain't have to buy groceries real tough, and I barely could buy them, but they don't make stuff for one person. So now I got to go in there now, and Jeroboam know. I'd be like, man, boy. But I'm not getting upset about it because I want my son here until he can be able to get out and find him a wife and do the thing. I'm trying to, like I said, we need to make things right. We need to make things right.
I'll pray.
And let's go to jump to verse 22.
Genesis chapter 31, verse 22. And it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob was fled.
Yeah, he left. Yeah. They gonna burn out. He done got his stuff burned out. I'm gone. You know, with Laban, if it was up to Laban would have just kept him there and kept jerking, you know, getting over on him. And Jacob probably could have whooped Laban. You know, by Laban, our older man, he could have whooped him, but he's respectful, you know what I'm saying? But he's like, okay, I got my family, man. I need to get my family in order, man. I can't sit here and keep working and this dude gonna keep taking from me and my grandkids and my children. I gotta burn out.
And see, the thing is, that also goes into honor thy father and thy mother. See, because the thing is, he was staying with that man. So guess what? That man was over him at the time. If you staying with somebody, you're not finna get out the way with them. You know what? Okay, then if I don't like what you got to say, I can still pick myself up and I can go.
And I'm married.
That's right.
And I'm married. I got my family. I can go ahead and burn off, but I wasn't. So he was even going with the laws on
That's right. Going with the law.
But go ahead. Let's go to go to 26. Keep going. Oh yeah.
23.
Go ahead.
And he took his brethren with him and pursued after him 7 days' journey, and they overtook him in the Mount Gilead. And God came to Laban the Syrian.
The what?
And God came to Laban the Syrian.
So now we know what Laban is, the Syrian now. He's a Syrian. Go ahead.
And God came to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night, and said unto him, take heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad.
Hey, same thing he told Jacob too, didn't he? Don't hate the Syrian. Same thing he told the Syrian. Man, don't speak nothing good or bad on him.
Just put your mouth on him, man.
Just leave him alone, God dang it. That's what you need to do. Don't do it. Same thing he told them, both of them. Y'all like two kids, bro. Y'all stop it. God dang it.
Well, he did this. Shut up. Well, he did this. Shut up. Both of y'all.
I hate you. You don't hate your brother.
That's right.
Man, you're a big lip, man. Don't say nothing good. If you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. God dang it. Shut up. Just shut up. What are you telling him? Go ahead.
Then Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mount, and Laban with his brethren pitched in the mount of Gilead. And Laban said to Jacob, what hast thou done, that thou hast stolen away unawares to me, and carried away my daughters as captives taken with the sword?
God, boy. He said, carried away. Boy, you just married them off. But see, Jacob don't know about what Leah did. I mean, what Rachel did, though. See, Jacob don't know. Rachel done went in the house and stole some stuff, you know what I'm saying? And he just stole a couple of pictures. That ain't gonna need it. I always like this anyway. And, you know, she done did some things. But go, what was that, on 26?
Yeah.
Go to 36. Jump to 36.
Verse 36. And Jacob was wroth and chose with Laban. And Jacob answered and said to Laban, what is my trespass? What is my sin, that thou hast so hotly pursued after me?
See, he's trying to figure out, man, what did I do wrong that you just chasing me now? Jacob don't know what Rachel done did.
Now, this is something I'm glad you read it, because this is something I want to touch on. Just like when we, as people, leaders in the camps, and we want to condemn our brother because, hey, you ain't take the trash out. Look, what is my sin? What is my trespass? If I offended you, if I did something, show me where I did wrong according to the Lord, not according to you. But show me what I did wrong, because guess what? If I stole, if I did anything that we didn't agree upon or whatever, show me my trespass. Show
you
me
ain't
my
keeping
sin.
the commandments. Well, show me why I'm not keeping the commandments. That's all I'm asking. That's all. Hey, please show me why. You got fringes on. Well, I ain't shaved my head. I ain't shaved my beard. From what you can see, I'm keeping the commandments. You see what I'm saying? And that, boy, I tell you, man, our folk, boy, you in sin. Because I can see yours, but you can't see mine. So you just gonna say, I know that you're doing something wrong. You know, that's all you can say. Just to make up something. I don't know what it is, but you're doing something. I mean, you ain't doing everything. Right? You ain't doing everything. There's some things I can't do, but everything I can, I'm trying my best to do it. Period. You know what I'm saying? That's how we're supposed to be anyway. Go, where we at? 36? 37. Go ahead.
Verse 37. Whereas thou hast searched all my stuff, what hast thou found of all thy household stuff? Set it here before my brethren and thy brethren, that they may judge betwixt us both. This 20 years have I been with thee,
Thy ewes,
thy ewes and thy sons and thy she goats have not cast their young, and the rams of thy flock have I not eaten. That which was torn of beasts I brought not unto thee. I bear the loss of it. Of my hand didst thou require.
He just telling you, man, I ain't did I'm telling you everything I did. It ain't got nothing to do with what you mad at me for. You just gonna chase me all over the mountain. I'm over here, man. I'm up here, man. She got playing with the kids, and here you come.
And the thing is, if you notice from the first beginning, he did 7 years for Leah, then he did 7 years for Rebecca, for Rachel. So
and sat around for another 4 years before he
that's another 6 years, because it was 7 plus another 7, then plus another 6 more years.
6 years.
20 years.
6
Gave
years,
man. And it still wasn't good enough for him, man.
That mother was delaying him, boy. He was delaying him. Tarry here. Wait here for man, come on. I like being on a job for 16 years, and then all of a sudden you think you finna go get a raise, and then you go in that mother and drop your pay $4. Why you like, hey, boy, Jacob better than me, boy. I need to be more like my father.
For real, man.
Because I'd have went in that roundhouse Laban like a son. I would have drop kicked Laban, man.
See, why it's gonna explain and keep reading down though.
I bear the loss of it. Of my hand didst thou require, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. Thus I was. In the day thou drought consumed, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from mine eyes. Thus have I been 20 years in thy house. I served thee 14 years of thy 2 daughters, and 6 years for thy cattle, and thou hast changed my wages 10 times.
How much?
10. Thou hast changed my wages 10 times.
He could have, man.
Man. See, now I'm bringing this out to show y'all. It was a problem between Jacob and the Syrian. That's why I was talking about that right there, on that right there. Don't hate your brother the Syrian. I know I know a lot of stuff tripped out with y'all now, but don't hate him, man. Don't hate him. You know what I'm saying? Because why? Because, first of all, that's where you got your children from. You know what I'm saying? That's where they all started at right there. So don't hate him. Please don't. I know you're mad. I know you want to drop kick him. I know you really want to just go over there and just choke him. You know what I'm saying? But don't hate him. That's what the Most High is saying here. Because nobody talks about the problem that we have with the Syrian. Nobody say nothing about that. Nobody realized that because they ain't trying to hear it. Yeah. And the Christians definitely don't want to go there because all they want to do is just, don't hate the white man. Don't hate the white man.
And he hates your guts.
I hate him like the sun.
And he hates your guts, man. He don't want you to do nothing. If you rise up and they see any kind of rising up, look at it. They like, man, what is this Negro doing over here? Then they want to check out your stuff. Then what you got? Bring it in the office. Yeah. Then if it's better than he'll take your idea. Go on back to work. Now he go use it with all his meetings. He gonna show all his friends I did this, and you the one that just made this thing, man.
And when the Most High shows the real serious, they're gonna be like, oh, we don't really have no problem. Then someone was tripping, but they really wasn't no problem with us. But see, a lot of us don't know who the Syrians are today, or where they at, or who they are. But sometimes it's just some people we just don't even really have a problem with it. Some of them probably don't give a dang about us. They probably be mad too. I don't even know why people be tripping with them. Why they be doing them wrong? We don't know. But at the same time, that's another thing I was really just showing you serious. Let's go to 43. You had 43.
Verse 43, 42.
No, go just drop to 43.
Okay. Verse 43. And Laban answered and said unto Jacob, these daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children, and these cattle are my cattle, and all that thou seest is mine. And when can I do this day unto these? And what can I do this day unto these, my daughters, or unto their children which they have borne? Now, therefore, come thou, let us make a covenant.
Now, see, he said, man, now I realize You're right, Jake. Man, all this stuff it's mine anyway too, because they from me. So he said, now let's make this covenant. Go ahead.
And I now therefore come thou, let us make a covenant, I and thou, and let it be for a witness between me and thee. And Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brethren, gather stones. And they took stones and made a heap.
Jacob said unto his what?
And Jacob said unto his brethren, gather stones. And they took stones and made a heap, and they did eat thereupon the heap. And Laban called it
Jagarsa Hadatha.
Jagarsa Hadatha.
That's it.
But Jacob called it Gilead.
And it's funny. He called it one name. He like, I'm gonna call it this. They still got to live. Hey, we're making a covenant. We still got a little bit of turmoil. A little bit of something against. Go ahead.
And
hold up. And that let you know another characteristic of us in there too, man. It just be funny. He said, man, it's called it Jeroboam. It's called Jeroboam, Maccabees, Yar, Benaniah. Let's call it that. He said, no, it's just call it that. He's like, no, what you gonna call it?
Play, man. I ain't got time to say that. You mean I gotta say this every time I speak of this name? I love this.
You probably said,
what? You just look at him like, no, come on, man.
Let's just call it that. Man, now later you talking like, God dang,
the characteristic must like a bug.
Verse 48. And Laban said, this heap is for a witness between me and thee this day. Therefore, was the name of it called Gilead and Mizpah. For he said, the Lord watch between me and thee when we are absent one from another.
He said, the Lord watch between me and thee when we absent from one another. He said, because I don't know, I'm not going to be there with you like that, but he still see what you're going on. Don't beat my daughters. I'm going back to Syria, but we beat my daughters. But I'm not going to be here to watch it. So we're going to set the Most High up over this. So he the one watch it. You do something terrible, he see it. I ain't got to be watching. I ain't got to follow you around. Like a lot of y'all mamas, let your sons go when they get married. You ain't got to go follow them around. I don't like that girl. Well, he do. So look on and let him go with his wife.
And you know what? And that should be the covenant that we make with our people anyway, man. With our children too. Like, look, while you gone, man, we make a covenant. The Lord will watch between us. Look, with all the instruction I gave you at the Bible, all the good works that you learned. Let the Lord bless you and watch over you. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you stay on the right path, that you won't fall astray, that you won't go astray. Go ahead.
Send them away with a blessing.
That's it. Come on that. Come on that.
Go ahead.
Verse 50. If thou shalt afflict my daughters, or if thou shalt take other wives besides my daughters.
He said, if you should beat my daughters, he said afflict. Y'all catch this. So it let you know, look, we didn't get down. We didn't get down with the whipping of the women, man. He telling you, if you should afflict my daughters, And
look, he said, take another wife. Hey, you keep this in this family right here. Don't go outside this family here, man. We're making this covenant now, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to come back and see Bethel sitting all up in who the hell? They ain't none of my kids, and they ain't none of my daughters. So wait a minute, just keep this here. Most High setting this up also, because he bringing out 12 tribes. Read.
If thou shalt afflict my daughters, or if thou shalt take other wives besides my daughters, no man is with us. See, God is witness betwixt me and thee.
See, Most High looking at ain't nobody here with us. So our only other witness is the Most High. And we both trust in him, so that's what we're going to leave it with. We let Pinky,
Pinky promise.
51. And Laban said to Jacob, behold, this heap, and behold, this pillar, which I have cast betwixt me and thee. This heap be witness, and this pillar be witness, that I will not pass over this heap to thee, and that thou shalt not pass over this heap and this pillar unto me for harm. The God of Abraham and the God of Nahor, the God of their father, judge betwixt us. And Jacob sware by the fear of his father Isaac.
The God of who? Hold on.
The God of Abraham.
The God of Abraham, which is coming from whose side?
From
Jacob's side. And the God of Abraham, God of Nahor, the Syrian side. Jacob and the Syrian. Go ahead.
The God of their father, judge betwixt us, and Jacob sware by the fear of his father Isaac.
That's why it's not don't hate a Syrian. That's why it's saying don't hate a Syrian.
Because there was a covenant
that was made. You ain't supposed to. You're not supposed to. See, we don't get up. We don't even get into that part like that at all, boy. We were just, first of all, half of Israel get confused in time. What about 23:7? Boy, Israel go crazy. You know, they got a whole lot of different words. Let's go and let's research it a little bit. Just a little bit. And we ain't do nothing but walk through the Bible on this. Y'all see that? We just walk. We ain't going back and forth. We going down. Going
line upon line, line upon line.
Look. Yeah, it just going all upon it. Look. Now hold on.
Keep reading.
Go ahead.
Verse 54. Then Jacob offered sacrifice upon the mount, and called his brethren to eat bread.
And called his who?
And called his brethren to eat bread.
Read on.
And they did eat bread and tarried all night in the mount. So they kicked.
They kicked the whole night.
55. And early in the morning, Laban rose up and kissed his son and his daughters.
Kissed his who?
Kissed his sons and his daughters and blessed them. And Laban departed and returned to his place.
Man, that's where we get the Syrian now. This it is. Like the one thing about Laban and the Syrian did, that why we don't need to hate them, because they made it good with us before they burned out. They made it good before we began into this journey as a nation.
Yeah.
They made it good with us. So the Most High said, don't hate them. Did Esau ever make it good for us? At all. But let's get some of Esau. Let's go to Genesis 47:23. This is another brother. But they ain't talking about that one we talking about. That's why I said a clerical error. Read.
The book of Genesis chapter 47, verse 23. Then Joseph said unto the people, behold, I have bought you this day, and your land of Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and you shall sow the land.
I'm sorry, Salaki. We ain't going to Esau right now. We are right now. I'm finna go through the other part, that second part. Read that again. Deuteronomy 23:7. Because we just dealt with the first part. So they don't want to tell you, but to see those two go together, even though they two different things, but they still go together because, like I said, our nation started beginning in what? Syria. Now it's finna be birthed and coming to a whole nation of people. In where? Egypt. That's why I was talking about them two nations only.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 7. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother. Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou was a stranger in his land.
All right. There we go. See, but they don't never go that far. They just stop at that first part. I don't give a damn about what you do to the Egyptian and the African. Just don't hate the white man. But then they tell us, hey man, we can't hate them because we was in their land too, as a stranger. Now, start read that 23.
Genesis chapter 47, verse 23. Then Joseph said unto the people, behold, I have brought you this day in your land of Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and ye shall sow the land. And it shall come to pass in the increase that ye shall give the fifth part unto Pharaoh, and 4 parts shall be your own, for seed of the field, and for your food, and for them of your household, and for food for your little ones.
And wait a minute, before y'all get into that, this is Joseph telling Pharaoh about the famine that's gonna happen to the land. So we don't want people not to understand what's going on. This is Joseph giving them the prophecy of what's going to happen to the land during the famine season. Go ahead with God.
Verse 25. And they said, Thou hast served our lives.
Saved.
And they said, Thou hast saved our lives. Let us find grace in the sight of the Lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servants.
Yeah, and he first of all, we had saved that line because of the fact that the matter Joseph was the one that interpreted a dream that told the famine was going to come. He said, for now, at this time when this is going on, we'll be your servants. We'll give you a fifth. But that wasn't for us to be slaves under them all for 400 years. That was covered by the Most High. But at that time, but Most High did that even to show us things that were going to come. See, just because something bad happened to you, it's always, if you follow the laws of the Most High, it's a purpose behind that. So just because there's something bad happening to you, don't mean everything going downhill. You just got to take your time, sit down and learn the lesson that you've been given to. That's what we got to be doing. So the 400 years, that's what all that was. Did y'all gonna learn this lesson? Because I'm going to take y'all up out of here. And we see when we left up out of there, we didn't learn a damn thing.
But see, the thing is, that's the gold that's being tried in the fire.
Exactly. But where we at?
26.
26, read that last one. 26.
Verse 26. And Joseph made a law over the land of Egypt unto this day, that Pharaoh should have the fifth part, except the land of the priests only, which became not Pharaoh.
Yeah, see, that's it, except for the land of the priests only, which was the Levites at the time. And that's also Jews, but we'll look at that another time. But now go to 46. Go back one chapter and read 46 and 1.
Genesis chapter 46, verse 1. And Israel took his journey with all that he had, and came to Beersheba, and offered sacrifices unto the God of his father Isaac. And God spake unto Israel in the visions of the night, and said, Jacob, Jacob. And he said, Here I am. And he said, I am God, the God of thy father. Fear not to go down into Egypt, for I will there make of thee a great nation.
See, now he sent him to Egypt to do what? Make a great nation. He got the wives in Syria, and now he's gonna multiply the sons in Egypt. This is why he's talking about don't hate a Syrian and don't hate an Egyptian, because that's where we come from. This is what we were developing our families from. See, people don't never know that. They don't see that. They don't even think about this. They don't even try to put it. They don't even, it ain't even a part of the math to them. It's like saying 2 plus equals 8, 18. Then they be like, man, I don't do algebra. That's all you got. It's simple to do, man. All you got to do is figure out what they're missing. We got to go and do it. It don't take much to research this, man. All I was going through when I was just going through the Bible, I'm going, some here, some now, some now, some now, some now. Let's talk about that right there. All I had to do was go look at the strong and look at the definition. Cut that out. You bothered me. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go. No, yeah, keep going.
Verse 4. I will go down with thee into Egypt, and I will also surely bring thee up again.
He said, I'm going to go down with you in Egypt. I'm going to bring you up again. Meaning we finna have some problems in Egypt too. So I'm going to bring you up again. So that means in order for us to go, I mean, we're going to be down. This is not just saying we're going down to Egypt. We're going to be down in Egypt, and I'm going to bring you up again. Go ahead.
And Joseph shall put his hand upon thine eyes. And Jacob rose up from Beersheba, and the sons of Israel carried Jacob their father, and their little ones, and their wives, in the wagon which Pharaoh had sent to carry him. And they took their cattle and their goods, which they had gotten in the land of Canaan.
This is all Israel now. We moving out the Canaan land. Remember, it was Jacob of Canaan, remember? We moving out of the African areas, and we going out of the southern parts, and we going into the northern part of in Egypt, because the famine is going on. So now we're moving all 78 people are going into Egypt. Nah, that's all we got. Because if you can count them if you want, there's a whole list of them right there. But go ahead.
Verse 6, and they took their cattle and their goods, which they had gotten in the land of Canaan, and came into Egypt, Jacob and all his seed with him, his sons and his sons' sons with him, his daughters and his sons' daughters, and all his seed brought them, and brought he with him
into
Egypt.
And now, like I said, if you got all that's showing you the people that came with him through the next chapters, which wasn't many. You ain't even got a whole page full of them. This ain't a whole lot of people that just finna bring a whole nation out of this place. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot. Go to 15. Drop down to 15.
Verse 15. These be the sons of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob in Padan with his daughter Dinah, and all the souls of his sons and his daughters were 30 and 3.
Drop down to 18.
Verse 18. These are the sons of Zilpah, whom Laban gave to Leah his daughter, and these she bare unto Jacob, even 16 souls.
Drop down to 22.
Verse 22. These are the sons of Rachel, which were born to Jacob. All the souls were 14.
Drop down to 25.
Verse 25. These are the sons of Bilhah, which Laban gave unto Rachel his daughter, and she bare these unto Jacob. All the souls were 7. All the souls that came with Jacob in Egypt, which came out of his loins, besides Jacob's sons' wives. And all the souls were 66.
66, that's 66. That's 66 people. This is where we begin right now as building a nation. We came from Syria. That's all I'm showing you. That's why it's talking about those two when you go to Deuteronomy 23 and 7. When it's talking about don't hate a Syrian and don't hate an Edomite. I mean, God, it's a lot. Don't hate an Egyptian. Because of this is where our people had come from. Now, let's go and see what the funky Edomites had to do with us. Go to 1 Samuel 21 and 7.
Book of 1 Samuel 21, verse 7. Now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before the Lord. And his name was Deut, an Edomite.
And what?
An Edomite, the chiefest of the herdmen that belonged to Saul.
The chiefest of the herdmen that belonged to Saul. You remember David was a king that the Most High had chosen. The people chose Saul. Saul was supposed to go in and kill the Edomites. Man, who he got chasing David? Edomites. The same people he's supposed to been taking out. Now he got to working for him and chasing after God's chosen his own people. That's wicked, ain't it?
Yeah.
And then the Edomite probably got a hand like, I go get it. First one, I go get it. And this is wickedness on top of wickedness. Man, and go to where we at? That was on 7. Go 22 and 9. Same book.
1 Samuel chapter 22, verse 9. Then answered Doeg the Edomite. Then answered Doeg the Edomite, which was set over the servant of Saul, and said, I saw the son of Jesse coming to Nob, to Amalek, the son of Ahitub.
Now he up there spotting him out. Hey, I seen the son of Jesse. I seen David. He up there snitching. He doing everything, but he gave him a little opposition, man. First of all, you're supposed to be dead in the first place. If Saul would have did what the Most High told him to do, kill all of them. But now here he is. Saul to let him get a position. And there's some gun in there, I mean, just telling everything. Yeah, I mean, right on there, you know what I'm saying? You know that if I was you, I'd go get the army man over there, trap him over that kid, man. You know, this what the Edomite do. And we supposed to love them. They've been trying to kill us from day one. Day one.
And when you go out through each of the captivities, man, you see captivity after captivity, where the Edomites was always underhandedly trying to destroy the children of Israel.
Even with Esther.
Exactly.
Haman. Hey, just hate them. Just constantly, hey, man, get them in trouble. With every nation. What's funny is, I'm talking about no matter who ruled, the Edomite is always right there saying, man, you need to get rid of them people. But like when Cyrus even let us, we in the Persian Medes, man, under their captivity. And next thing you know, all we trying to do is go build a house to our God. And here they come. Y'all need to be against them. Y'all let them build that. They go get everybody together. Hey, y'all come in, man. Y'all come in. They ain't even thinking about us. But not the Edomites gonna make sure. And y'all, we supposed to love them. They've been trying us through everything we've been through. We come out of Egypt. Sorry, old scary. What they do? Go to the back of the line and kill the young and the children and the old men and the slow one. They didn't want to deal in the front where the army was and the mighty men were. No, we'll go back here.
Kill the weak.
Well, then they seen us get them out the land. Hey, can we just pass through? We ain't even gonna stop here. We ain't gonna get nothing off the land.
We don't
We're
want
just gonna
to
pass by.
We don't want to drink. We don't want nothing. Please just let us pass through.
No.
They said no. They said no.
No, you ain't going through here.
Then the Babylonians, let's get there right quick. And give me first Esdras in the Apocrypha chapter 4, verse 45. Because it goes back to the verse, Psalms 137 and 7. It says, raise it. That means destroy it.
I'm glad you hold this too, because I'm gonna go to that and hit that up towards you. But go get through these.
Read that.
First Esdras 4, 45. The book of First Esdras chapter 4, verse 45. Thou also had vowed to build up the temple, which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the children.
The Chaldees. The Chaldees is going into the Babylonians. So guess what? They was a part of the Babylonians when they burned our temple down in 586 BC. They was a part of that time. Then you go to the Persian and Mede captivity during the time of Judith and Esther. Guess what? They had their hands in that when the brother Mordecai had to put Haman, the Edomite, down, man, because he was coming against us. So each phases of captivities, you always have the Edomites underhandedly trying to destroy Israel, man. That's that feud that goes back from Genesis 25 to 25. Go ahead, Al.
46.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 46. And now, O Lord the King, that is that which I require and which I desire of thee. And this is the princely liberality proceeding from thyself.
No, that's it on that.
No. Yeah, but yeah, just go to 50. I was gonna go to that anyway, but I'm back.
Oh, go ahead.
No. Drop to 50. I don't want to come back. We already got it. So go to 50.
First Esdras chapter 4, verse 50. And that all the country which they hold should be free without tribute, and that the Edomites should give over the villages of the Jews, which then they held.
That's all they wanted. They came in and take all our stuff, all this land, all over the world. We want their stuff. That's all they ever want. Anything we doing, we gotta go what's name? The Greeks. Let's occupy Jerusalem. The Romans. Let's occupy Jerusalem. God dang it, even when we was in Africa. Here the Romans come all the way over there. The Edomites come out of there. Big old continent. We want them people right there. Because they look through history and they seen whoever got them, that's going to be the blessed people. That's what they realize. That's why they need you here. If all the blacks get over there, boy, they'll have you talking about a massacre. Let us all talking about stand up and say, we all finna leave right now. So, you going to see the military right here on this soil shooting everything up.
Yep.
Y'all finna what? Because they know we leave this country, they no more blessings. Ain't no more covering. That's the only reason Russia, when they would drop a bomb on them, they would hit the Israelites while they sleep. Nah, they can't do it. But if we ain't here, shoot, America be fourth world, like a fourth world country.
Definitely.
Man. But what was we at? Back over in
Samuel 22 and 9.
yeah, go to 17. You finished 9, didn't you? Go to 17.
1 Samuel chapter 22, verse 17. And the king said unto the footmen that I stood about him.
That stood about him.
And the king said unto the footmen that stood about him, turn and slay the priest of the Lord, because their hand also is with David, and because they knew when he fled, and did not show it unto me. But the servants of the king would not put forth their hand to fall upon the priest of the Lord.
Go ahead.
And the king said to Deut, turn thou and fall upon the priest. And Deut the Edomite turned, and he fell upon the priest. And
Man, you see this? At least other people that had enough respect, man. We can't don't kill the priest. But Doeg the Edomite. Go ahead. Let's see what he did. He is a boy. What, like I said, what have they done good for us to say so we can to love them? Go ahead.
and slew on that day 75 persons that did wear a linen ephod.
75 persons. That's 80. That's 85.
And no, the city of the priests smote with the edge of the sword, both men and women, children and suckling, and oxen and asses, and sheep with the edges of the sword.
Man, he came in killing everything, man. He doing something that Saul was supposed to do to them, but for Saul, he'll kill his own people. I kill them. Don't worry about it. I get them all, children and all that. I know you didn't do us like that. The only reason he lied because Saul disobeyed the Most High anyway. But then he'll go and do the job that Saul was supposed to do with them. And we're supposed to love these people, man. Must have been tearing us up from jump. Heck, they even in the Apocrypha during the Maccabean period, they wouldn't attack us Sunday through Friday. Guess when they attack us?
On the Sabbath.
On the Sabbath.
Oh, no, we couldn't go to war on the Sabbath, man.
That's why the Maccabees they forced themselves to break the commandment. Look, watch that. This Sabbath they come, we fighting them this time. They were sitting there literally not fighting because it's the Sabbath. And they had to literally like, look, God, look, I know but man, I got to get up, man. I'm not gonna sit there and let them just sit there and kill me. That's what they was doing. Edomite was doing us bad. Boy, and what's so bad about it? They act like the Edomites were more interested in our book than damn near we were.
They still is.
Yes, because they know the power behind it. If only we can see the power behind it and who the people is for us, then we can raise up as a nation. But we ain't even trying to see the power behind it. But what we want to do is wait till Esau tell us what's in the book. Then we want to run and do it. And then he'll tell us a lie, and they'll go run and do this. They over there trying this. Okay, if we do this, hold on. Man, tell them to go pay some tithes, tell them tithes. So they stay broke while we over here study the book. But we working Israelites now. It ain't happening no more. I'm here to tell you. But go ahead, man.
Verse 20. And one of the sons of Ahimelech, the son of Ahitub.
No, that's all I needed on that one. That's all I needed. What was that? Verse 20, yeah. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 11.
Because another thing we got to also, we gonna go to it too. We got to also, these covenants wasn't for forever.
Exactly.
These covenants was not for forever. So we're gonna pull this out one out.
And some of these covenants were not made by God. Some of them were just made between man. Because remember, you got to remember. In fact, give me that. Give me First Maccabees 1:11. Because if everybody think we just supposed to honor every covenant that every man of Israel just joined into, y'all got a seriously mistaken. Very serious mistake. Got it. First Maccabees 1:11. Bring it out.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men.
Out of where?
Out of Israel wicked men.
Wicked men. Read. Everybody in Israel ain't no saint. Just like we can see right now today. Look around America, just in Judah here. Ain't everybody ain't no dang on saint. We trying to get all it. The most wicked one in the world. The pastors who's supposed to be the so-called saints, they more wicked than everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we already know. Go ahead.
In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with thee, with the heathen that are round about us.
See, they made a covenant too. So we honor that covenant? No, we shouldn't. No, we shouldn't. So every covenant that is in the Bible that is not for us to, some of them not for us to do, and dang sure wasn't for us to be carrying on forever. So a lot of times we be thinking, man, when we had said we weren't gonna do that to Esau, shoot, Esau broke that, and then I'm gonna go cut Esau's neck off. This Negro is tearing us up.
Matter of fact, let's get it right quick since we already on subject. Go to Amos. You got that up? You got Amos?
Yeah, but we go there now.
Go ahead.
We go there now.
Break it up, man. Break it up, man. Like
Let me
I
get
said, man,
the pen. No, I just want to mark it off to make sure I don't.
go back to it.
Yeah.
Because like we said, man, these covenants wasn't for forever. So we got to understand, we got to read the Bible in its totality and get the proper understanding. Because a lot of times brothers don't have that proper understanding because they ain't went far enough.
Mm-hmm.
Read that right quick, Officer Yard.
The book of Amos, chapter
1 verse 11. You can get to the 1:11 first. I'm gonna go a couple of them names right there while we go.
Amos chapter 1, verse 11. Thus said the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and 4 I will not.
Hold up. So they transgressed against us
Mhm.
4 times. 4 times. Read on now.
For 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword.
What did Esau do?
Pursue his brother with the sword.
So guess what? It was always a brotherly covenant amongst us that we wouldn't do that. So guess what? They broke that covenant and they broke one of the other ultimate covenants by putting us in slavery in the 1619 transatlantic slave trade.
And then what the Most High said also, they don't keep no covenants.
That too. That's exactly
They don't
right.
keep them. Yeah, ask Gad, ask Reuben, ask all them, ask Issachar. He made 400 with them and ain't kept one. But go ahead.
Jump up to verse 9.
Verse 9, Amos 1 and 9. Thus said the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom.
To who?
To Edom.
Read on,
And remembered not the brotherly covenant.
And guess what? They broke that, brother. Read on,
Verse 10. But I will send a fire of the wall of Tyrus.
Tyrus is going into the Hamites of Tyre. Read on,
which shall.
Hold on. Go back, and they remember not the what?
They remember not the brotherly covenant.
That's a brotherly covenant. Now don't get it. It ain't the covenant God made. It's the covenant we made with our brother. And this song, yeah.
He even broke that.
Man, I'm gonna get mad. Let's keep reading.
Verse 10. But I will send a fire of the wall of Tyrus, which shall devour the palaces thereof. Thus said the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity.
No, he had pity on us.
And did cast off all pity.
Because guess what? They had little Junebug in that cotton field. They had Big Mom in that cotton field, man. They show us no pity, man, at all. Read on, And
his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever.
For what?
Forever.
Guess what? They still mad at us till this day.
Till this day. And it's evident. And they be telling me, Esau ain't the so-called white man. What red nation, they be talking about these light-skinned red people with this red hair. What nation is that? Show me them, and they the ones that just killing us.
Exactly.
The albino. That's basically trying to say, well, he wasn't why he was albino. Well, when did albino become a nation?
Man, you only see a few of them every now and then anyway, man. Man, you're right. When did they came a nation? Who? Show me anybody else that just run around killing us red. Show me.
Who we bump heads with every day, 100% of the time. I mean, you know, the proof is in the pudding. A lot of times people don't want to eat the pudding, man, every day.
And they can't be of our same manner.
Yeah, they can't.
So a lot of nations got our manner, just not us. But so-called white men ain't got our manner at all. Period.
And it said, and did cast off all pity. He don't pity the young or old, man. He don't pity young or old, man. Look here, if he can have your great granddaddy that's 90 years old, if he can have him and he'll have him at Walmart, a door greeter.
Yeah.
He gonna do something.
He gonna do something.
He gonna make him do something, man. Yeah. Guess what, man? That's why that's why right now they trying to stop the Social Security for the old, man. Because guess what, man? You're gonna make you older generation just like we paying all this FICA killing our chicks, paychecks. What's it, FICA that comes out of your check? It'd be $200 or $300 a week coming out of FICA. I'm like, what the hell is that? But guess what? That was supposed to be for the Social Security. But when we get old, if the world keep going, you think he gonna give us that money for FICA? Hell no.
This ain't about money. It's about a perpetual hate.
This is about a perpetual hate that he has for our people. He don't regard the old, he don't regard the young, he don't care. Because guess what? Just like old 9-year-old boy, he'll go in there shoot the school or they'll let him out, but let the Jake go in there and steal a piece of bubble gum. Hey, you get 15 years. Mm-hmm. Now he got to be raised up through the system, man. He don't regard us, man. Mm-mm. Free labor is what they want. That's what they using their penitentiaries for, man.
Let's go to since we're in Amos, go to 9 and 11.
Like they do fire you up, man.
Yeah, what I said, you can't even think about it too much longer, boy. You go out there and they be talking about, dang, boy, I seen 2 clans hanging from a tree.
Amos chapter 9, verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the branches thereof.
Breaches. And that's what's going to happen. He's going to raise us up. He's going to give us a military around us and everything. Go ahead. And everything, we all falling off, we ain't doing these commandments right. He's going to put all this stuff back in order. Go ahead.
In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom. And
what?
That they may possess the remnant of Edom.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be our possession. The remnant. And they're gonna be our possession, the remnant.
Not all, the remnant.
Exactly. Because we gotta keep some around. Y'all got to clean up. Y'all gotta close up our breaches that y'all done did. Y'all gotta close the ozone layer. Y'all gotta get at the bottom of them oceans. Get that scuba diving stuff that y'all invented. You know that deep sea diving. Get down there. Get the trash off the bottom of the ocean. Get y'all goddamn mountain climbing gear. Get up there and get all that trash out and tow up everything. Get it cleaned up.
What's the name of this song? Y'all had to clean up what y'all done messed up.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What y'all want to do.
That they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen which are called by my name, said the Lord that doeth this.
That's all I said. He said, that's all I need on that one. I'm glad we brought that out. I was going to bring that one up. Hey, ain't no better time than now. Let's go to 2 Kings chapter 14. So, man, like I said, this can be covered in a matter of ways. No matter how you look at it. If you look at it as that word being Assyrian, or if you look at it as that word being the Edomite, where that's broken. You look at it being Assyrian, you can do that. That means everything else about the Edomites, no matter what, it ain't gonna come to pass about that. I mean, everything gonna come to pass. I got you. Let me get this. I just want to go, Betty, give me 2 Kings chapter 14 and go to 10 real quick.
Go to 2 Kings?
Yeah.
Chapter 14, verse 10. Thou hast indeed smitten Edom, and thine heart hath lifted thee up. Glory of this, and tarry at home. For why shouldest thou meddle to thy hurt, and thou shouldest fall, even thou and Judah with thee?
Mm-hmm. And thou hast indeed smite Edom and thine heart. He said, well, that's the things that's going to happen. I want you to drop back to 1. Start at 1.
14:1.
Mm-hmm.
2 Kings chapter 14, verse 1. In the second year of Joash, son of
But it'll drop down to 5. Go to 5. So we can go through this right quick.
chapter 1, verse 5. 2
No,
Kings
14.
14, verse 5. And it came to pass, as soon as the kingdom was confirmed in his hand, that he slew his servants, which had slain the king, his father.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6.
And he said, that was David. He killing them straight off the top, man. Squash that. Go ahead.
But the children of the murderers he slew not, according unto that which is written in the book of the law of Moses.
See, now look. That's what I wanted to get at. He said, see, there's a law now. If he had looked back into the law and he would have been thinking about Deuteronomy 23:7, he wouldn't have avoided Edomite. He wouldn't have hated an Edomite, right? So he looked back to the law. He didn't slaughter these children. Why? Because of the law. Because of the father sin, they didn't have to take on those. So if we look, when he's thinking about the law, why didn't he just go back to Deuteronomy 23:7 and not even hate him or kill him at all? See what I'm saying? So it wasn't even talking about this. It was talking about Assyria. Because if he going back to the law, he would say, oh, I can't do that because I got this right there. But that's because he the one went to the law. He the one went to the law. So and he didn't kill them because of the law.
Two different people.
He didn't kill them because of the law, exactly. But his mindset was on the law. So he didn't do a certain thing because of the law. So when his mindset is on the law, when he went back to the law and he killing these Edomites here, and the men, why did he just go to Deuteronomy 23:7 and think about the Edomites? Because it's talking about the Syria, not the Edomites. But now let's go to let's just go on. I'm gonna get a few out of here, and let's go. Let me just gonna do it like this. Let's go to Psalms 139 and 20. We're gonna cut it all to the chase. I know we're gonna cut it to the chase and knock this out right quick. 139 and 20.
The book of Psalms, chapter 139, verse 20.
Tell me, do this make sense? If he's supposed to be hating the Edomite, we can't hate him. Go ahead.
For they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee.
And that's what they do. They take his name in vain right now and then change his name, call him Jesus, and made him look like a guy doing homosexual and changed everything about it. And we supposed to sit up here and love him when he done took your God and changed him to something they wanted. And you're supposed to just be, oh, that's all right. You know what I'm saying? You'll be all right. But God ain't all right with it. Go ahead.
Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee.
And then David asking these questions. Man, do not I hate them, the ones that hate thee? Go ahead.
And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee?
He said, and I agree with those that rise up against thee. Is that a problem? He asked Most High, is this a problem for me to be like this? Just like I don't got a problem. It was a suggestion that when I first got in the truth, I don't got a problem with hating them now. Because I know what they're about. The more I go into it, the worse I realize how terrible they are.
That's right.
Even the ones I know for a fact that they was real good to me as a friend. Then when I go back and think about it, I was like, dang, that song I was doing this, that song I was doing that. God dang, the purpose he did. He started getting everything together. Dang, man, nigga, that have none of my interests in my mind. You know what I'm saying?
It's just like how the Lord has to do with this nation of people. If you have your hand right here, you have 5 fingers, and one of your fingers get gangrene, you gonna cut off your whole hand or you gonna cut that finger off, man? You got to cut that finger off, man.
Off.
You got to cut
the whole head.
or you'll lose the whole hand. So he got to cut the infection out of the earth, man. That's how he get the earth back into peace. That's how he get the earth back into order. That's how he get things back into running in the right operation when the cancer is gone, man.
Yeah.
You get that out the way, and then the earth is back in the rightful ownership, man.
Go ahead,
I hate them with perfect hatred.
I hate them with perfect hatred. I can't. I don't even know how to hate like that yet. Boy, he said perfect hatred, boy. Boy, I don't know how hard that get. That's just saying hard than a mud. I mean, I hate you with a perfect hatred. Boy, nigga like, damn, he really don't like
bro,
me.
that's cruel.
Yeah.
That means you ain't gonna never like me, man.
Exactly. It's a perfect hatred.
Say that.
Never like me, man.
I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies.
I count them my enemies. Go ahead.
Search me, oh God.
He said, man, check me out. Look at my mind. See, is something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me?
And then that's crazy.
I try my best. I can't. Every time I look at what they did, I just can't get over that. I just cannot not like them. I just can't do it. Every time I think about them, it's something bad in my mind. They ain't did nothing good for us. Nothing.
And the thing is, he telling God, he talking to God.
Yes.
He telling God, hey, search me. I told you I hate them. Search me if I'm lying. He telling God to search my soul.
Go ahead, what you got?
And David was called a man after God.
After God, it's hard. That's why he asked him a question, because he like, something disturbing me, man. Is it wrong for me for being like this? And then Most High, let's keep going.
Search me, oh God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts.
Man, just imagine. I bet you what he doing and what his thoughts are, what he want to do to him. Imagine God looking at his thoughts. If he looked at my thoughts right now and told me that if I'm thinking about an Edomite, boy, I tell you right now, he'll strangle me right now, because I cannot think about them. If you look at my thoughts about them, my thoughts are going to be horrible, because they've done nothing but horrible stuff. Same thing with David. Got a whole nation. I ain't got no problem with nobody. But these
David said, try me. He telling the Lord, try me and know my thoughts, man. He telling the Lord is about them, man.
Go ahead.
And see if there be any wicked way in me.
He said, see if there be any lie in me about him. That's what he said. We don't.
And lead me in the way everlasting.
Lead me in the way everlasting. And the Lord did not say that. He don't even come back and say, nah, you wrong. David, you wrong. He don't come back. He asked him. And let's go to let me just get through these very quick. Let's go to Hebrews 12 and 17.
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 17. For ye know how that afterward, when ye would have inherited the blessings, he was rejected.
Let's talk about Esau now.
For he found no place of repentance.
Now, Most I said they only got a place of repentance. That's how much he don't like them. He don't like, man, all nations, y'all can repent and be servants. What's name ain't got no choice. He definitely gonna be a servant. Then I'm wiping them all off the planet anyway. Period. And that, you can get that Obadiah 1 and 18. And I ain't gonna have to go there. But finish that. You finish that?
For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears.
That's exactly how they always are. Cry babies like a mother. Anytime that we don't allow them to do anything with us, they get to crying about it. Now we racist and all we trying to do. Like, they can't have BET, what them shows they be having. White man always got to be right there too. All that. Just anything. We got to, hey, well, hold on. Y'all doing what? Juneteenth parade. They want to be down there too. Police.
And you also want to make sure that you precept that with Malachi 1 and 4.
I'm gonna go there. That's the next one. Yeah. That's what I got
Cover
there.
all tracks.
We got that.
They show some.
They'll see that just think just talking about Esau.
Yes.
No, not just him.
In fact, that's my next one. That's where we're gonna go. That's why I said I gotta get those in before I leave. Yeah, Malachi. Let's go to Malachi. Chapter 1. You start at verse 2.
The book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 2. I have loved you, said the Lord. Yet you say, wherein hast thou loved me? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Said the Lord. Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau.
I what?
And hated Esau.
I what?
And I hated Esau.
Uh-huh.
And laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
Yeah, man. See, right now, that ain't happening. That's gonna happen. Go ahead.
Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts.
Yeah, because that's what Esau did. When he had broken down that first time, they came back and rose back up and started building all these desolate places. What you got, like America right now, you got Europe over there, all these places he started building back up. Go ahead.
They shall build, but I will throw down.
And then Esau got everything. He went into Africa, took all that back from the people. The Africans think they run it right now. Nope, don't. And then let me go to Romans. Let's go to Romans 9. He said, build and finish that out.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness.
The what?
The border of wickedness.
All around them. They are the beginning of wickedness, man. Not only are they the beginning, they protect wickedness. That's the border. They the border all the way around. Wherever wickedness is, they're still behind it.
That's the gangrene.
Yes. Y'all talking about we got to just love this border wickedness. The border of wickedness. I mean, of all evil. We supposed to love it. Love the devil. No, we're not.
The border of wickedness and the people against whom the Lord had indignation.
Forever. Forever. So from the beginning he had it. To now he got it. And after tomorrow he gonna have it. In the kingdom he gonna have it.
Watch this. Watch this. Malachi 3 and 6. For I am the Lord, I change not.
He said he ain't changing. He ain't changing, and you can't change. So he ain't changing himself. You can't, he ain't listen to you when you try to change. And that's why we stay in this word. Now let's go to Romans 9 and 10. I'm gonna wrap this up. This will be my last one. I wish I could have got all this other stuff in.
The book of Romans chapter 9, verse 10. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born.
See, before he was even born, he already had a destination for him. This one gonna hate this. It's like when you setting up a game set, you already got the enemy. These gonna be my good guys right here. They're gonna be bad guys. You set them up as a kid, you setting your little board up. This is the most I say, man, before they even born. I'm already gonna have this. I'm gonna have a balance. I got my good ones, I got my evil ones. Jacob my good ones, Esau my evil ones. And I ain't gonna tell them to be together because it's a plan going on here. Go ahead.
For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her, their elder shall serve the younger.
And that's gonna happen.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
But Esau have I hated. The Most High hated. David hated him. Our forefathers hated him. Everybody that we had dealt with had problems with him. Only one that had good intentions with him is the one that was wicked out of our people. The Grecians, they made a covenant there. The Romans, they made a covenant there. All the way back up until Saul, he made a covenant with them, using them to get back at us. He never did nothing good for us. And y'all talking about we supposed to love him.
Just keep reading it. Keep reading.
Verse 14, what shall we say then?
What you gonna say then? God said, just what you got to say. Read on.
Is there unrighteousness with God?
What God say?
God forbid.
He said, hell no.
And on that note, we're going to say shalom. They're going to get a law. Go ahead. Somebody got a law for me?
Yeah.
We ended on that one. I'm glad you brought that out. God forbid. Y'all telling us we can't shoot. God forbid, man. I'm gonna do what Most High. He hate him, I hate him. And I don't even hate him enough like I should. We don't, y'all act like we out here just killing them. All we doing is speaking with our mind, man. I can't stand them because of the stuff they did. But yet they killing us in the streets and in the courtroom, in the penitentiaries, in everything in this government. But we just, hey, hold on. What about them? What about us? What about us? Because you want to run out and marry you one of the fat, nasty dogs, and you're going to be mad because I said something about it. Yeah, you got it done right. I ought to kick your wife in the back of the head. She'll eat a mite.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, we'll do verse 12. And ye shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shall thou name of the God, neither shall thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord.
And that's what they rest these other people out here doing. Vocab alone. What's that other one name? James, whatever his name is.
Right.
James White. That's what they do. Then when we try to bring it out, they don't care. We studied this. I don't care. They ain't never been for you. And on that note, we're going to say shalom. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. If you're on Facebook, why don't you go ahead and just hop on over to YouTube, push that subscribe button and subscribe to us. You'll see our street teachers and all that stuff. And you also get the classrooms inside the classroom, and you get the other little hidden videos we got of high holy days and things like that. If you don't hesitate to do take the donation, because we're trying to get out to all over the place. So if feel free, they got a GoFundMe page on the bottom. They got all our other information on the bottom. Give us a call if y'all got any questions or need any help on things. Give us a call, and we'll help you out on that. And on that note, we're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.